Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Wargames Geek. This week I'm painting a 28mm Wild West Cowboy, and he's a really nicely detailed figure with his cowboy hat and his water bottle there on his belt. He's a really nice looking figure, and I'm planning on using him for Wild West Skirmish games. So I've based him on a 25mm circular base, and I plan on using him with the Mexican gunslinger that I painted in one of the previous episodes. So I've primed this figure with matte white from the Army Painter range, and now I'm doing the skin areas using the colour Barbarian Flesh, and I'm going to use that for the face and the hands on this figure, that the only skin areas that are showing. So just take your time as you're going around the edges there where the hairline is, and when you get down towards the sort of clothing at the sort of bottom by the chin. As I usually say, don't worry too much if you do go over the edge. We can tidy that up when we do the colours for the hair and the clothing, but try and keep it as neat as you possibly can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn him upside down just to get into the areas I can't quite reach, under the chin there. Being left-handed, this side's difficult. If you're right-handed, obviously the other side of the chin will probably be difficult to get to as well. So, make it work for yourself. Don't struggle trying to get your hand in all these different positions. Just move the figure around and make it work for yourself. So now I'm moving on to the hand, one of the hands on the gun here. Just zoomed in a wee bit, and just get a little coat on there. Again, try to be as sort of careful as you possibly can. So that's both of the hands done now. I've just sort of sped that up a little bit, and I'm just going into areas that I can see that just need a little final touch up. So that's the skin on the hands and the face completed. Let's turn him around so you can see from different angles. And then the next step then is we're going to go on to start painting in the next part of the figure, and for that I'm going to start doing his jacket. So I've just sped this up a little bit whilst I talk you through the next process. For this jacket or tunic, what I'm doing is I'm using the colour Pure Red from the Army Painter range. It's a really nice, vibrant, bright colour, but it will be dulled down a bit once we've given the figure a dunk in the strong tone quick shade dip. So just going around the figure, making sure to pick up all of the areas of the jacket, and where we're meeting up with areas we've already painted, such in this figure the skin tone. We just need to be very careful around those edges there and just try and keep them as crisp as we possibly can. So I'm now just going in and painting the front of the tunic, getting the paint onto that, and it is just a base layer paint, so we're not doing any highlighting or anything like that at this stage. We're just going to paint in the tunic and paint in all of the figure just using one layer of paint, so there's nothing, no highlighting whatsoever. So just round to the back now, onto the sort of extended left arm of the figure, and just making sure we get all that a nice layer of paint on it. Don't forget the little bits at the sort of sides below the canteen there, or to the side of the canteen, and we've got that sort of bit in between the straps there. So just going around the back and just making sure we've not missed anything. There's a bit there I've missed. And that's the beauty of this, is just take your time, and just if you notice any bits you've missed, just fill them in before we move on to the next stage or the next colour. But if you do notice it, just go back over. So that's the figure there. He's had the top coat of the red done. Now for the trousers, or his sort of lower clothing, trousers or pants in the States, what I'm using here is a Citadel colour, which is Zandri Dust. So that's the trousers done. I've just sped that up. So Zandri Dust for the trousers, really nice colour, goes a long way. And then once we've done that, I'm going to paint in the hair, and for that I've used ash grey, again using the back to the Army Painter range of paints. So once we've done that, I'm just going to make sure I've not missed any bits here. The lighter colours do tend to pick up the quick shade a bit better, so nice light colours there. Then on the hat, the cowboy hat, on his back there, I'm using fur brown from the Army Painter range of paints. Fur brown for that, and it does. It's a really nice colour, goes a long way, and yeah, it's a really nice covering paint, that one. Nice, decent base coat paint. So we're getting the hat done. Yeah, make sure you get it all covered. And he's really starting to take shape now. So let's just make sure we're very careful around that edge. Underneath the hat, there's also another sort of piece of kit hanging off of his jacket, which is a kind of like a bedroll. So for that one, I have gone in with an Army Painter paint, and that colour is Desert Yellow. So that's Army Painter Desert Yellow. Really nice, again, nice bright colour. Just trying to get the bedroll in, which is say on his back, but the cowboy hat and the water bottle are sort of resting on it. So it's a bit of a tricky one to get into. So maybe a finer brush than I'm probably using would be better to get in and get that all painted in. So there we are, starting to take shape now, starting to look pretty good. The next bit then is for the strapping for the water bottle, and for that I'm using leather brown. You need to really just sort of take your time here. You know, you can clear up any mistakes you make, but you know, be as careful as you can. So that goes around the front, down across his chest, and then sort of disappears. So probably into the folds of his tunic. So I'd say that's leather brown. Just going back over a few little bits here, some sort of more leathery bits that are on the front of his tunic, all in that leather brown colour. And I'm going to do the knife sheath down this side as well in that same shade. So yeah, just take your time here where we're up against the edges of the tunic and his other clothing that's already been painted in. So once we've got those bits done, we're going to go in. There we are, just showing you that, just a quick spin around. So once we've done all those bits, what I'm going to do is then I'm going to go in and start painting the rifle. I've sped that up a little bit, so I've used, let's just go into that. So for that I've used plate mail metal, and I've used the same for the canteen as well on his back there. So that's him pretty much done. The wood parts of the rifle, again, I've used leather brown for that as well. So let's move on then to do the shoes, and I'm using a sort of dark stone colour from the Army Painter range. It's a bit of a watery one, so probably just needs a bit more of a mix, which I'll do, but I'll just get this first layer on just to get the footwear sorted out. So there we are, so that's all those pretty much done. I'm just going to come around and do the other side of the shoe. There's a little bit out of focus there. And then what we need to do once we've done this is just let it dry, and I'll leave it to dry probably overnight. And then the next stage will be to do the basing for it. He'll need to be sprayed with, he'll need to be dunked first actually, doesn't he? So we'll go ahead and do the quick shade, then we'll get a base on him. And then what I'll do next after that is I'll get some matte anti-shine spray, and the idea being that once that's all done is he's ready for gaming. So that's where we're at. So I've just dunked him there. He's been dunked in the quick shade strong tone, and as you can see, it's soaked in. It really does give a really decent shading effect, saves hours of dry brushing and so on and so forth. So as I say, that's now been done, and I need to get a base on him, which I'll do in the next stage. So he's been left to dry for 24 hours, and as you can see, the quick shade looks really nice on him. Really gone into all the recesses and done the sort of shading job for me. And what I've done then is I've gone ahead and PVA'd the base of the figure, and I've added some sort of sand and grit to it, ready for painting the base up. And with the magic of video, this is him now all complete. I am going to give him another coat of the matte varnish because I think he's still a little bit shiny, but he's now ready for some Skirmish Wild West gaming. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do like, subscribe, share, and please do comment. I do answer all the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.